It's one of the most visibly joyful pieces in the collection. This is Celebrating Women's Lives by Miriam Schapiro. The mixed media collage features 3 women delightfully holding a pose, either mid-step in dance or airborne mid-jump. They're each holding flowers, possibly sunflowers, which symbolize happiness, adoration, and long life. The background is vibrantly colored in bright, bold neon hues that were in vogue in the 1980s. It aptly creates a celebratory backdrop that from a distance looks like confetti or colored powder thrown at the end of a color run. Sometimes when you're looking at art, glare from lights can hinder the details of a painting. But for this work, it actually accentuates them, allowing us to see how Schapiro layered and overlapped the different colors of paper cutouts that make the forms of the women and their clothing. The paper cutouts were inspired by Henri Matisse, only Mimi-ized. Schapiro incorporated the craft tradition by using different types of ribbon and other decorative elements. The collage lends a marionette-like quality to the women's postures, but it also harkens back to scrapbooking and other childhood activities in the home. This is what Schapiro called femage, or feminist collage, in an effort to elevate women's traditional craft to high art. There are also fun touches of femininity in the glittery ribbons and the paper with metallic gleam or playful patterns. The acrylic painted background integrates Schapiro's gestural painting under abstract expressionism of the 1950s, think Jackson Pollock, that added texture in a distressed or graffiti-like manner, almost like a happy prelude to grunge. For Schapiro, the act of painting, quote, substitutes for the physical act of dancing. Many of Shapiro's works are thematically related to dance and theater, as she took dance lessons as a child. She was motivated to create a dance series after watching a documentary about Fred Astaire on TV in early 1980. For her, dance was a metaphor for a number of things, such as the creative act, identity, the celebration of life, and the ability to move through life effortlessly and beautifully. As she once wrote, I wish to translate feeling into movement in my figurative works so that body language tells the story. The women portrayed may come from different walks of life, but they are celebrating who they are through the common language of dance. None of us are solely one thing. We are the sum of our parts, especially physically, as these women are made up of different colors, shapes, and materials. Canadian-born to parents of Russian Jewish heritage, Schapiro was exposed to art from an early age. Her father was an artist and industrial designer who taught her art beginning at age 6. As a teenager, she took classes at the local WPA branch to study the human form, as well as Saturday classes at the Museum of Modern Art. While living in California in the 1970s, she met fellow artist Judy Chicago, with whom she co-founded the feminist art program at the California Institute of the Arts in Valencia. Along with Chicago, Schapiro was one of the leaders of the women's art movement in the 1970s and 80s in America. Schapiro's works spanned from abstract expressionism to geometric abstraction to figurative art, where she explored the shape of her being as an individual, as a woman in the 20th century, and as an artist.